I was throwing him. He always been like that. You know what I mean? So I gotta focus on what I'm focused on. He already did what he had to do, bro.
For sure.
I ain't gonna lie.
So I don't want to make it a habit of showing fighters. No, it's not even a habit. I want fighters doing the wrong thing. So we're gonna get back to the basics of boxing.
You thought it was just an off night, or?
Everybody has an off night. Everybody has an off night.
Gervonta Davis is furious after learning that Floyd Mayweather allegedly visited Lamont Roach's training camp ahead of their rematch, viewing it as a betrayal by his former mentor. Tank Davis has openly stated that it's better to have issues with Mayweather than to be on good terms with him. He implied that being too close to Floyd brings problems, saying Mayweather has done things to him that no one else knows about. While Davis didn't go into detail, his words suggest that Mayweather's influence had a negative impact on him, both personally and professionally. Davis has previously expressed frustration with Mayweather's actions behind the scenes, hinting that their relationship was more complicated than it appeared publicly. He acknowledged that Floyd had already done what he needed to do in boxing, but Tank believed that focusing on himself was the best path forward. He doesn't want to be affected by Mayweather's presence or decisions anymore. By keeping his distance, Davis feels he can maintain a clear mindset and stay focused on his own career. He recognizes that Floyd's influence was affecting him in ways that weren't beneficial. Now, with his rematch against Lamont Roach approaching, Tank is fully focused on his future, making it clear that he prefers to move forward without being under Mayweather's shadow.
He the one told Frank that I was running at 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, Friday. He told Frank that. He was giving Frank tips and stuff like that. But I knew for sure that wasn't going to be enough to beat me. It's cool. It's all right. I don't really think too much of it. He's not going to hurt me. You know what I mean? So it's good to beef with him than be cool with him, because he can do some crazy stuff. He'll put you in bad situations.
Tank Davis addressed his relationship with Floyd Mayweather, making clear that he is now focused on his own career. When asked about Floyd's involvement or potential support, Davis responded that Mayweather has always been the way he is and that he has already accomplished everything he needed to in boxing. Davis acknowledged that if he were in Floyd's position, having achieved the same level of success, he would likely act the same way. He expressed that he understands Mayweather's stance, suggesting that he does not hold any resentment. Instead, he recognizes that Floyd has moved on from actively being involved in other fighters' careers. While some might interpret Mayweather's distance as a lack of support, Davis does not seem to take it personally. He acknowledges that Mayweather has done his part in the sport and is now enjoying the benefits of his legacy. Rather than dwelling on his past association with Floyd, Davis is now focused entirely on himself and his own journey, that he is determined to carve out his own legacy, separate from the shadow of his former mentor. Davis understands that ultimately his success will depend on his own efforts, discipline, and ability to remain at the top of the sport. With his upcoming rematch against Lamont Roach, Davis is fully concentrated on securing a definitive victory and reclaiming his dominance. He is not looking for outside validation or assistance. His mindset is strictly on proving himself and ensuring his name remains among the elite in boxing.
Crew or something, or no?
Floyd, I was throwing him. He always been like that. You know what I mean? So I gotta focus on what I'm focused on. He already did what he had to do, bro.
For sure.
I ain't gonna lie. Me, if I did what I like what he did in the sport, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't follow him, but like stand to himself and things like that. You know what I mean? But it's also a part of me type thing, like you come back and help too. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's much love to the whole Mayweather promotion. You know what I mean? Ain't no bad blood type of shit. And a lot of people think like when I be tweeting on Instagram, I be mad. I just be talking.
Floyd Mayweather has allegedly been giving tips to Lamont Roach after visiting his training camp, which has raised eyebrows in the boxing world. Mayweather, known for his mastery of the sport, has always emphasized that young fighters often make mistakes with their jabs and overall technique. He has stated that his goal is not just to teach boxing, but to help mold future stars who can become the face of the sport. However, his involvement with Roach has created tension, especially with Tank Davis. Tank, who was once mentored by Mayweather from the beginning of his career, now feels betrayed by his former promoter. For years, Floyd was in Tank's corner, guiding him to major victories and helping him build his brand. But now, seeing Mayweather offer guidance to his opponent has made Tank question Floyd's loyalty, that it's not just about advice, it's about trust. And Tank believes Floyd crossing to the other side is a sign of disloyalty. This situation mirrors what happened with Frank Martin. Mayweather once worked with Martin, offering insights to improve his game, but later distanced himself. The pattern suggests that Floyd moves according to his own interests rather than staying committed to one fighter. As Tank prepares for his rematch with Roach, he must set aside any feelings of betrayal and focus on proving himself, with or without Mayweather in his corner. Tank knows that the only way to solidify his legacy is by dominating inside the ring.
Fighters think it's just this. Let's do it, come on. See, a lot of fighters think it's just this. So I don't want to make it a habit of showing fighters. No, it's not even really a habit. I don't want fighters doing the wrong thing. So we're gonna get back to the basics of boxing. Let's go. Let's see. The long jab. See the long jab?
Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. has praised Lamont Roach for his impressive skills and power, emphasizing that Roach is a true contender in the sport. Jones highlighted Roach's ability to adapt in the ring, noting that his strong fundamentals and ring IQ make him a dangerous opponent for anyone. While many may have doubted Roach before his fight with Gervonta Davis, his performance proved that he belongs at the top level of boxing. Jones pointed out that Roach's ability to handle adversity sets him apart. He has fought through tough challenges, always improving with each bout. His footwork, defense, and counterpunching abilities make him a well-rounded fighter who can adjust his game plan depending on the opponent. Roach is not just a fighter with heart, he has the technical skills to back it up. Another key factor Jones emphasized is Roach's punching power. While he may not have the same knockout reputation as Davis, Roach has demonstrated that he can hurt his opponents with precision and timing. His ability to land clean, effective shots makes him a serious threat, especially in long fights where his accuracy and stamina come into play. Jones also spoke about Roach's discipline and dedication outside the ring. He praised Roach's work ethic, saying that his commitment to training is what allows him to consistently perform at a high level. Unlike some fighters who rely solely on athleticism, Roach's success comes from a combination of skill, preparation, and mental toughness. With his growing confidence and refined technique, Jones believes Roach will continue to be a force in boxing. Whether in a rematch with Davis or against another top contender, Roach has shown that he is ready for any challenge.
Presumably, Tank is supposed to, win this fight. This is a fight that there's not a lot of doubt about him coming out victorious in. So the talk shifts, and we got to know, Roy, from your perspective, Tank Shakur, when you think about that fight being a potential fight this year, how do you see it going?
I ain't gonna really think about that yet because I'm waiting after he finishes his fight with Roach. Roach is not just your average everyday opponent. Roach is a person who knows Tank, who's been around Tank his whole life. This is a different fight. You can't put Roach to the side like that. I'm sorry. Now, I'm not saying that he's gonna win the fight. I don't know that, but Roach cannot be this underrated like that. You understand? You gotta understand that Roach came from basically the same ecosystem as Tank came from. Roach is a very formidable opponent. So I'm not gonna talk about none of that till we get by Roach, because what I'm telling you about the other stuff don't really mean nothing right now.
Okay, let me ask you this, because this did happen.
I'm feeling good always. How you doing?
I'm always good. You're a special fighter. Tank's a special fighter. What do you like about him? What makes him different?
I like that when Tank come to fight, Tank come to knock you out. Tank don't come to just beat you by decision. He come to take you out. He come to try to get the job done best way he can. And he loves to come there and entertain the fans. He's not there to play around. He's trying to smoke you. And that's what life's supposed to be about.
Okay, if you played in the NBA, what would be the team you would choose to play with?
Right now, I'll play Milwaukee.
Why?
I like Dame and I like Giannis.
Roy, did you see what happened between T.O. and Bud?
No. Yeah, I did see, yeah.
What are your thoughts on it? Because the whole thing that came out of that, right, was that T.O. said, hey, he apologized and he was leveraging racism as promotion.
Right, he don't want no part of Bud, what that means.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bud, what are your thoughts on
Lamont Roach has made it clear that while his primary goal in any fight is to secure victory, his ultimate desire is to knock out his opponent. He believes that stepping into the ring is more than just about winning, it's about making a statement. Roach has trained tirelessly, dedicating days and nights to perfecting his craft. If he manages to knock out Gervonta Davis, it would be a career-defining moment and a testament to his relentless work ethic. Roach sees this as an opportunity to prove himself at the highest level and solidify his place among boxing's elite.
Earlier. My initial plan is to win, but every time I fight, I'm trying to knock somebody out. So, so if that happens in the midst of it, that'd be a blessing. That'd be definitely something that I work for, because I work my ass off. But if he on his way out, well, why not kick his ass out?
Lamont Roach thrives on proving people wrong. Whenever someone doubts his abilities, it fuels his determination to push even harder. Throughout his career, he has faced critics who questioned whether he belonged among boxing's elite. After his first fight with Gervonta Davis, some believed he didn't do enough to secure a clear victory. Despite putting on a strong performance, he still had doubters. Now, heading into the rematch, Roach sees this as the perfect opportunity to silence them. He is determined to show that he is not just a good fighter, but a great one. He wants to prove that his skills, power, and heart can overcome any challenge. The criticism only motivates him to train harder, refine his technique, and step into the ring with unwavering confidence. Roach believes that this rematch will be his moment to make a statement and truly establish himself as one of the best.
It does in a sense, but yeah, it do for sure. I ain't gonna lie, I like to prove people wrong, and I damn sure like to prove myself right. So it definitely gives me an incentive. And like I said before, I've been before. The Hector fight, they had me duck. Right now, they really got me. They really got me. So it's an agenda. I got it on the agenda to upset a lot of people.
Tank Davis has never looked this vulnerable in the ring, and much of that credit goes to Lamont Roach. Roach's skill, toughness, and strategic approach forced Tank into a competitive fight, something many didn't expect. His ability to withstand Tank's power and counter effectively made the fight much closer than anticipated. Roach's composure and confidence shook Tank in a way no opponent has before. This proves Roach is an elite fighter who belongs at the top. His performance was nothing short of amazing, and now in the rematch, he aims to solidify his dominance even further. Some critics argue that Lamont Roach cannot be considered a great fighter based on just one strong performance. They believe that while he fought well against Gervonta Davis, a single impressive night isn't enough to define true greatness. According to them, Roach needs to consistently prove himself at the highest level by delivering similar performances in future fights. On the other hand, many still view Gervonta Davis as a proven star who simply had an off night. His track record, knockout power, and past victories show that he is an elite boxer. Supporters of Davis argue that he wasn't fully focused during his fight with Roach, which led to a closer contest than expected. They believe that a focused and prepared Tank will dominate in the rematch. For Roach, the rematch is an opportunity to prove that his first performance wasn't a fluke. If he delivers again, he can solidify his place among boxing's elite.
Roach is a great fighter, and it sounds harsh, but what is he great at? He had a great night, doesn't make him a great fighter. Buster Douglas had a great night, never was a great fighter. I love you, George. I love George Kambosos. Really great night from you when you beat Teofimo Lopez. You were never a great fighter. And never has he shown us he was a great fighter. He was on nobody's radar. 25 plus fights. And then he has one great night, one great fight. And a lot of guys want to say, oh, he's a great fighter. What about Roach versus Loma, Roach versus Shakur, Roach versus Keyshawn, Haney, Tio? No. No. I'm not allowing you guys to do that. He had a great night. You got to show me that again and again. If you could show me that 2 more times, that this wasn't just a great night, I'm a great fighter now, then I'll give it to you. But one great night. You cannot be an alcoholic for 25 years, go one day without drinking, and expect me to call you sober. You can't.
I don't think Roach is a great fighter. And it sounds harsh, but what is he great at? He had a great night. Doesn't make him a great fighter. Buster Douglas had a great night, never was a great fighter. I love you, George. I love George Kambosos. Really great night from you when you beat Teofimo Lopez. You were never a great fighter, and never has he shown us he was a great fighter. He was on nobody's radar in 25 plus fights, and then he has one great night, one great fight. And a lot of guys want to say, oh, he's a great fighter. What about Roach versus Loma? Roach versus Shakur? Roach versus Keyshawn? Haney? Teo? No. I'm not allowing you guys to do that.
I discredit thing is he's still a pound for pound fighter.
Yeah. What do you think about that fight that happened? You thought it was just an off night, or?
Everybody has an off night. Everybody has an off night. Shit, I had a night with Cruz. Everyone has a night. It's boxing.
You want to run that back with Cruz or what?
Maybe down the line.
Rolando Romero has defended Tank Davis, stating that one bad night doesn't define his career. According to Romero, Tank remains the face of boxing and one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport. He believes that even the greatest fighters have off nights, and Tank's performance against Lamont Roach was just that, an off night, not a sign of decline. Romero points out that Davis's skill, power, and dominance over the years still place him among the pound-for-pound best. One close fight shouldn't erase everything Tank has accomplished. Fans and analysts may criticize his performance, but Romero insists that every great fighter, from legends like Floyd Mayweather to current champions, has had tough nights in the ring. Tank now has the chance to prove his doubters wrong in the rematch. If he comes back stronger, he can remind the world why he is still considered one of boxing's top stars.
I'm hoping that he do what I need him to do. You know what I'm saying? You see how I asked him, are you ready? You know what I'm saying? Because I need somebody that's going to really push Tank, so I can see different levels of it. This time I had a chance to step back, and everybody keeps saying, they changing up stuff. No, we ain't changed up anything. It's the same thing we always do. You know?
Going into the the training camp, how was it? Or you said you stepped back a little bit. Well, how was it? Splitting the time. How's it going to be splitting the time to
no,
come
this
Saturday
something
night?
That we do all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Right now, y'all know all I gotta do is speak. Then take out history since I was a kid. When I stepped in the gym, B said, "Yo, I'm glad you here now." He watched him. He said, "Boom." And I see the light in Tank. And I just can't wait to see all of that come together. Fight night.
How's going back to being in the corner? How do you see Gervonta right now? Just being in camp, because at first when we talked to him in the press conference, he was very open about retiring and he was done. And now he said that
y'all have to understand. He's a young man. He have a family. He want to do something. Enjoy something. Don't take some time. I took a little bit of time out. You know what I'm saying? It refreshes you. Get you back on that. So tonight, he had a chance for me not being around him a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I stepped in and I seen how he missed me and how I missed him. You know what I'm saying?
Not only has Floyd Mayweather distanced himself from Gervonta Davis, but longtime coach Calvin Ford has also not been in his corner recently. This absence may have contributed to Tank's performance being affected. Ford has always been a key figure in Davis's growth, pushing him to improve and refine his skills. However, Ford expressed that his role had naturally concluded, believing that Davis had learned everything he could from him. While he still supports Tank, he understands that every fighter must eventually move forward. Now, Davis must prove he can succeed without the two biggest influences in his career.
Should a Tank Davis-Devin Haney fight be next?
Yeah, it should be. We already called it out. We actually flipped the coin between Devin Haney and Shakur. We don't really care. Everybody was getting on Tank about he never asked for the big fights. If you look at Tank sit there and say the time is now. You know what I'm saying? Them guys is the only guys that are they really willing to take that fight? Are they gonna outprice themselves? Or they gonna take the fight? I'm old school. If I really think I'm gonna beat somebody, take the money and run with it. Let's fight. If you notice when we fought for Floyd now, we took every fight they threw at us. You know what I'm saying? We did what they asked. That's what the company, that's what you do. I train my guys and I tell my guys, you train, you fight, you get paid. We take care of the rest of everything else. You know what I'm saying? Look where it put us at, you know? We at the top of our game right now. So right now, we just trying to see what's next, to see who's gonna sign the contract to make them